In his idea of contradictory predicates, Heraclitus would say, the path up and the path down are one and the same. All existing things, he believed, are made up of pairs of contradictory properties. It's a confusing statement, isn't it? Imagine you're climbing a mountain and you ask someone, which way is the path up? If you asked Heraclitus, he would reply, Hodos and Kato, meaning there is only one path that serves both as the way up and the way down. His point was that change in matter follows this same principle. For example, he said, the death of fire is the birth of air, and the death of air is the birth of water. In other words, moving up means fire transforms into air, and air into water. Moving down means water changes back into air, and air into fire. Both directions are part of the same process. This idea still resonates in modern science. When matter changes form, the process it follows is a single path of transformation. The way up and the way down are, in essence, the same. Heraclitus also made another surprising claim: strife is justice. At first, it sounds bizarre, especially in a world where wars are rarely seen as just. But what he meant was that everything in existence comes into being through conflict, specifically, the conflict of opposites. When opposing forces clash, the result is balance, transformation, and ultimately, justice. He compared this to the tension in a bow. When you pull the bowstring back to shoot an arrow, the opposing forces create harmony in their balance. Likewise, in the world, transformation is born from the tension between opposites. Heraclitus advised, follow the common. By this, he meant that logos, the universal principle, is everywhere. It exists in matter, in humans, in the evolution of life, and in the transformation of the physical world. But although this law is present everywhere, people fail to truly understand it. Instead, they create their own private interpretations. He believed that true wisdom comes from understanding the principle that governs all things and applying it to improve oneself. Wisdom, he said, is to know the thought by which all things are steered through all things. In politics, Heraclitus argued that laws must be defended like the walls of a city. Just as a city's walls must be protected from enemy attack, laws must be upheld and safeguarded. He was not a radical or a revolutionary, he wanted stability and the preservation of established laws. Heraclitus died at the age of 60 years. He developed edema. Edema is when a lot of water accumulates under your skin. At that time, people did not understand the reason for this. He thought that someone told him to put dust on his body and then lie in the sun. And all this water will end as a result of dust and the sun. That water did not end. Heraclitus himself died. Anyway, the basic concept that Heraclitus gave, in which he showed two different concepts together, that two different things can be together. There is a long debate on this. It is still going on. You take Hegel, you take Marx, you take existentialism, you take Jean-Paul Sartre, you take postmodernism, you take Derrida, this debate is still going on. The philosopher standing opposite Heraclitus was Parmenides, whose point of view we will discuss in the next episode. Plato and Aristotle's basic philosophy is born as a result of the debate between Heraclitus and Parmenides. The basic ideas of Heraclitus were continued by the Stoics in the Hellenistic period. We will cover them in the next episode. That is enough for today. We have seen Thales, we have seen Anaximander, we have seen Anaximenes, we have seen Pythagoras, and we have seen Heraclitus. In all these we have seen one thing in common, that there are some basic principles and laws by which the whole universe works. Thales thought that the basis of all matter is water. Anaximander said that it is an apeiron. Anaximenes said that it is air. Heraclitus said that it is fire. Pythagoras said that it is the abstract principle of mathematics. What is the reality? We do not know it yet. But as a result of this debate, those basic ideas, those fundamental concepts were established, which were made by all philosophers, keeping in mind that theory, which remained on the mind of man for about 2,000 years. Copyright symbol 2020 Muji Media Limited. All rights reserved.